It's only a response to the way they've treated our farmers and our people. Canada's been very, very tough on us over the years, for many years, and no other president's done anything about it. I mean, in all fairness to them, they need us to survive. Without us, there's no way they can survive. But they've been very, very tough over a period of the last 50 years, actually.
President Trump slapping an additional 50% tariff on roughly $20 billion worth of Canadian imports. That includes everything from wine to hockey sticks to cement. So this is Canada.
Hockey pucks.
Yeah, exactly. This is Canada, and seen as a precursor or a pressure tactic to bring Canada into the USMCA bear hug. But also, the 10% tariffs that President Trump, the baseline tariffs that he put into place after the Supreme Court shot down the IEEPA tariffs, they have to be replaced. They're expiring on the 24th of July. So also on deck are replacement tariffs. But who wants to talk about Canada?
And do you want me to go? You want me to jump quickly? This is an interesting note I read. Okay, so pushing those tariffs up to 50% on goods ex energy will push up the effective tariff up to 3 to 3.5 percentage points. So now the total baseline tariff here would be 13.5%. What's interesting, though, is that they're saying wholesale prices likely would absorb 100% of that tariff, but consumer prices would only get 30 to 50% of those tariffs. So again, that tariff would add, I'm reading here, maybe 0.5 percentage point to CPI under full pass-through, and maybe only 0.15 or 0.35, so less than 1/2% under more of a realistic pass-through on sort of some other estimates that we have. The other, which to me
hockey
doesn't
pucks
seem
are not
like
going to go up
a lot.
that much, you're saying.
No,
exactly, and we also learned.
But this is the cover the president
core,
has. He knows from the last time going through these escalations
and
it doesn't impact it.
The last 2 months, core goods were actually deflationary. Falling prices, and so we could continue to have this debate if tariffs are inflationary or not. Either way, if there's 100% pass-through, I don't know if that adds a lot. But again, I just also don't think this is a consumer that even wants to see a whiff of this.
I ordered my hockey sticks a long time ago.
Okay, we got to move past the hockey sticks.
That is kind of funny. What do we get from them? We get oil, I guess.
Well, that's what's excluded, though. What's interesting to me is what's excluded: energy, potash, fish, and critical minerals.
And
the president is not jeopardizing.
It'll be too crazy.
How about maple syrup? We
can get that in Vermont.
That's true. See, I don't. I can't stand Canada. I have a lot of Canadians.
I don't have anything against Canada.
No.
For the record.
Really?
They're
too socialist for you.
They're just too socialist. They're just so woke, and they
don't sell out Calgary like that.
They take for granted what we do for them, like protect them.
Right.
So I intellectually want to or emotionally want to side with Trump on this thing, but intellectually and financially, I worry about tariffs. We got everybody's so worried. Talking about the 10-year before. I mean, everything. This is not a time to be screwing around here.
I hear you.
With the mechanics of stuff.
Can I build on that, because there's so much happening right now, and the president chose to deal with the tariff issue, deal with the Iranians, all at the same time. It just, as a somebody watching from 1,000 feet, it just feels like a lot. But Dagan's point about the tariff expiration is very important. Also, I think about these wildfires. I don't know if anybody else felt the air quality the way I felt it over the last few days. But you think about how they're managing things over there, and I know the president was not happy about it and said something was going to be coming. And I'm not saying that this is in retaliation for that. He said they're going to have to pay for that and the damage that they do to us as a result of what I would call personally their negligence of not doing controlled burns. But now we're going down a separate path. So he's just, my point on this is Whether or not it adds Taylor a lot, I'm glad that it won't. But having said that, people don't want to hear this right now. They do not want to hear this right now at a time when we're watching oil prices. We just got a break, and now they're climbing up again. And now tariffs on anything that's coming from Canada, excluding the big ones, though.
Yeah,
right?
But I'm curious. I mean, from the legal grounds. I mean, now I think he's using Section 338 of the Tariff Act of 1930. I know he
Also,
that's Smoot-Hawley.
never used.
Right.
So
he's using this again. I think he's used this as
That's
a
the
big
thing that
stick, right?
caused
It's
the
threatening
Great
it.
Depression, just so you know.
right.
But we said this originally with IEPA. Like
A
we
little
knew
bit
that,
of scare
Treasury Secretary Bessent was saying, like, look, if this gets ruled illegal or not valid, we have other ways to enact tariffs. The president's proving it again, but it's all to get them to the table to negotiate. Which I'm with you. I think this is too much, trying to do too much all at
Way
once.
too much.
Hard to digest for the American.
Just a little bit of history. Smoot-Hawley is probably not the only reason why we had a depression. We had a lot of stuff going on. We had, increased. We actually, Hoover was raising taxes and, kind of contracting the economy. We didn't have a Fed that was interventionist, like totally the opposite of that. But Smoot-Hawley did cause some economic damage. It stopped capital flows. There is a price to pay for this sort of stuff. Just remember, they're going to hit us back.
Right.
It's not just the 50% tariff under Section 338 on Canada on fishing rods and seeds and dairy and clothing. It's what's coming. And UBS is expecting that the new round of tariffs will be under Section 301 between 10% and 12.5% on 60 countries, which would be to replace IEPA and replace the temporary tariff that's been in place, Section 122. But this is a universal baseline tariff on markets that account for 99% of U.S. imports. And it's just another layer of uncertainty that importers businesses in the United States, particularly small ones, will have to deal with.
Yeah, I hate it.
You're looking at what? 3M?
Yeah, which makes everything like your Post-it notes, right?
K95s.
When
Post-its.
was the last
Who invented the
time?
Post-it?
3M.
Not Cologne, Germany.
Oh, I think it was Romeo and Michelle. Remember that from that movie?
I mean, so you guys correct me if I'm wrong. I look at 3M as the gauge on the economy. It's like a caterpillar. It's like a classic industrial, like what is the economy doing? One was like an old boring industrial stock up 9%. Well, they have a massively strong beat on the top and the bottom line. Organic growth is up 5.4% in the safety, Jackie, masks, and industrial segment. That's the best part of their company right now. Basically, adhesive tapes.
Yeah, I think it points to the underlying strength of the economy that we're
Yes,
seeing
that
in
is
earnings,
true.
right? It's deviating away from the Mag 7 exclusively. Even though Mag 7 had 63% earnings growth last quarter, you're seeing the unmagnificent 493 really keep putting up consistent results, which we need. If we didn't have this against the backdrop of oil spiking back again above 90, I think you would see the Treasury yields a lot higher because there'd be a fear of an economic recession that was, or an economic condition that was a lot more tenuous than it is right now.
Well, yields would be falling if we were headed toward
That's fair.
Recession.
Stinktown, yes. Coming up, that's my definition of economic slowdown. is
Stinktown.
A trip to Stinktown.